The 2025 BMW X7 M60i in black sapphire metallic. This is the S68 in the big box. Over 203 inches long. It weighs nearly 3 tons. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over the pros and cons, the problem that I have, and the comparable rivals with the M60. Starting in the front, full LED, 8.7 inches of clearance, active kidney grille shutter that illuminates with the M badging. Gloss black is in the interior, matte black surrounding it, and I like how aggressive the front fascia is, even though it has a two-part look to it, the way the daytime runnings and the headlamp assembly configuring together, with a standard 360-degree reverse camera, front and rear parking sensors, and going against some rivals like the new Range Rover Sport SV. That's going to have the same engine as this, but this is going to be detuned than the XB7. It is a 4.4 liter BMW M twin powered turbo V8, which is a twin turbo. The S68 is producing 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque paired to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, reaching 60 at 4.5 seconds for this size of a vehicle is crazy. Top speed at 130 to 155 miles per hour, and a weight distribution is basically 50-50 because you have standard rear axle steering, which will turn up to 5 degrees the opposite direction of the steering wheel at low speeds, and at high speeds the same direction, so it will keep the car planted. And when you're thinking how tall this vehicle is and how long it is, that is incredible, because typically when you get a big box like this on wheels, the geometry for the dynamics is not going to be there. Maybe underneath the hood you'll get the performance, but that's only on a straight line. This you could actually take bends on the road and you're not going to flip. 22-inch Y jet black alloy wheels, black brake calipers with the M Sport brakes, housing 4 pistons in the front, and you're going to need that to clamp down because of the weight of this vehicle. A single floating caliper in the rear. On paper it's 48.1, 51.9 weight distribution with standard air suspension, standard soft closed doors. There's a lot more standard amenities when you go into the X7 opposed to the X5, and even on the X3 and X4 they're not going to offer the standard or even give you rear axle steering, so it's pushing you into a bigger box SUV, and you can tow up to 7,500 pounds. Standard LED taillights, the lower gets your quad exhaust tips. It's not going to be as aggressive as the XB7, but considering it's the same engine, it's just detuned, you know what you can get out of this. A 0 to 60 that's just as fast as the Range Rover Sport SV for half the price. Going against Audi, they don't even make something this long. You would have to go into the SQ7, that's 500 horsepower, and it's going to be just a touch faster, but it's going to be smaller in length. Towing will be about 200 pounds more, but it's not going to be the same size. You could actually fit people in the third row here. Going against Mercedes, the GLS AMG 53, awesome vehicle, but bumping up to the 63 is night and day difference. And that's not going to be the case when you're going into the XB7, because you can tune this engine, and if I personally owned it, I would do so it has the same power as the XB7, and I'm getting a savings of $30,000 to $40,000. Power liftgate going into 12.8 cubic feet of storage. You can also lower the suspension to make it a little bit more easy to get inside. Underneath the floor, you can hide the privacy covers, and you have a deep storage pocket with a 12-volt charger. Split fold the rear bench in the back at a 50-50 split. That's going to increase the cargo to 48.1 cubic feet, and do the same thing for the third row, and that's going to maximize cargo to 90.4 cubic feet. This is the S68, which means it's an M engine. We need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust note. 20-way power seat adjustment for the front, heated, ventilated, massage seats, memory for the driver and passenger. The X7 M60i is a box on wheels, but it's a sports car at heart. Driver focus setup, M badging with the ambient lighting. Gloss black is going to surround the middle of the dash, Sensafin on top with the upgraded Bauer & Wilkins sound system. Heads-up display, auto-dimming rear view mirror, a long panel moonroof, and a second one for the third row occupants. And BMW's curved panel with 2 screens with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM AM FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, driver recorder, which is basically a dash cam. It will record, so therefore you don't have to purchase it on all 4 of the cameras. Put it into reverse, 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. Click onto the more, you got the 3D view, and you can use gesture to go all around the vehicle. And click onto the car wash, you'll see the trajectory for the front with parking assist, so it'll help you park the vehicle as well. 5 climate control settings. Every row will get heated seats because we have the climate package. Open up here and you get a wireless charging pad and the BMW digital key and the key fob for the X7. Heated and ventilated cup holders, 12 volt and USB, glass controls, and massage front seats as part of the executive package. The ambient lighting will go in between the satin aluminum and the gloss black. Soft to touch, opens up with a USB port, leather wrapped steering wheel, multi-function, paddle shifts, and a 12.3 digital reader that can go through an array of content. You can add the AR, which will show the front camera in the front, in the center there. You could change the layouts to make it a little bit more sporty or to make it a little bit more open. And the same thing for the heads-up display, standard directional sport reduced view. The dashboard and door panels configure in together. The Bauer & Wilkins upgraded sound system with the mesh, soft to touch where it needs to be, one touch up and down for the windows. The gloss black with the mesh inserts yet again for the speakers, a large storage pocket, and a storage nook for the driver. For the second row, headroom is not going to be an issue, nor is leg space. Storage behind both of the front seats, USB connector as well. Dual climate control settings, heated second row seats with a storage tray, USB ports, 12 volt, more cup holders, and you have a pass-through, and these slide to give a little bit more comfort and make it a little bit more optimal. And you have 4 total power seat adjustments, so you can recline these seats and they will extend back a little bit more so. Power sunshades, and you can operate that on both sides, as well as the large pano and the one in the back. Soft to touch where it needs to be. The ambient lighting comes into play in almost the same size storage pocket. To enter to the third row, pull the lever and it's going to electronically move forward. For the third row, headroom, not going to be an issue. Leg space, it's actually not bad. It will index, hopefully, maybe not. That's the index that we get. So you can see I'm pretty cramped, but because it's only 2 seats back here, you're not really going to have too much of an issue. You do have a cup holder, but using the USB port here is going to be a little tight for me. The window helps so I don't have that claustrophobic feel, and you have an air vent here as well with the 5th climate control and heated third row seats. And how does the S68 perform? To die for. With that exhaust though, it's going to put a smile on your face every time you mash on the gas pedal. It's going to wake up your neighbors. Man, they did a great job giving us basically a M engine, that's what it is, detuned. So what you're getting as a total package is going to have a lot of pros to it, because you could tune this and you can get the XB7 performance, which would be the same type of performance out of the Range Rover Sport SV, which is double the price of this. In the comfort, you're getting that with this because you get standard air suspension, standard rear axle steering, standard X-Drive, which is the all-wheel drive, which also helps with that near 50-50 weight distribution, because this darn thing is so good. Let me look at this. It's big, But for maneuverability, you can get in and out of lanes. It doesn't feel so wide. It doesn't feel that it's over 200 inches long. It's ready to go at any given time, and if you want it to be more comfortable, put it onto comfort mode and just enjoy the drive. The sound deadening is good. The seat comfort is awesome. Going into some cons, it is a longer vehicle. It does weigh near 3 tons, and when you're not in sports mode, it can feel a little bit more heavy because it is trying to get better fuel economy. There's no way to turn off the auto start stop button, and when you're using auto start stop, it turns the engine off at 5 to 6 miles per hour. So when you're coming to a slow roll, it'll just automatically turn off the engine. And in some cases, you'll have to pump the gas pedal twice to start the engine back because it turns it off so quickly because it's trying to get better fuel economy yet again. The back seats, it takes a little bit of time for them to adjust moving forward to get into the third row. Plus you have to add features in order to get the 5 climate control feature, heated seats in every row, massage seats for the front, and when I'm going into the M60i, yes, I'm getting a S68 engine, but I also want to keep some of those luxury amenities with it because it's such a great value. But once you start tacking on features, it starts pushing you up to $120,000 to $130,000 price, in which the XP7 starts becoming closer, and then the savings trickles away. Going against rivals, Audi doesn't make something that's comparable in length, so even for third row, the SQ8 is not going to be as comparable. It's going to be a little bit faster. You could tow a little bit more so, but you're not going to be able to fit in the third row at all. Going against Mercedes, the AMG GLS, pricing to that is going to escalate pretty high. Sound deadening to that's going to be a little bit more so. But when you're considering this is a detuned M engine, you can compete against this 63, in which now you're seeing a huge savings. And as for the new Range Rover Sport SV, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Range Rover, but considering they're using this engine, I don't see the point of spending that much extra money when you're not going to be taking the vehicle fording through water at 35 inches. You're not going to be going off-roading, so you don't need the over 11 inches of clearance. Most of those things people are not going to do at a $200,000+ price point, even at the price at this. Most people are not going to tune the engine, making it a track-tuned vehicle, because it's fast enough. And that's why it's insane that BMW has given us such an animal of a vehicle that has dynamics. On roads that are like this, you can actually corner. It's not going to be top heavy. Plus you got power underneath the hood. 523 reasons for me to mash the gas pedal to take the bends. And I'm not concerned by sliding off the road because I have the geometry for the vehicle. That's crazy for a box on wheels like this. But putting all the numbers aside, pros and cons, this is what you get on an everyday drive. The exhaust that filters in, still a smooth drive, able to take bends in the road, and look at the exit. It's hard to say BMW didn't capture and make one of the best third row SUVs out. It's definitely a sweet spot because you have full capabilities for a daily use car, plus you get the adrenaline whenever you're mashing the gas pedal. You got to be careful because this car goes so fast that you could get a speeding ticket even quicker. Problems, it's hard to really say and nitpick, other than the slow movements for the power seat adjustments for the second row, third row, and even sometimes for the driver's seat, because all the seats like to move whenever you're using the cargo. The infotainment screen has some bugs. The climate control can be loud at times, but these are all things that I can overlook when I'm getting an S68. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 BMW X7 M60i for our car review.